enough procrastinating, guys. It's time we get in here and get all this stuff done. Who's that? Could have swore I just heard a Mustang. Yeah, I heard a Mustang. When did you lower it?
I didn't.
That must be the way it's sitting. It looks lowered. I don't know, it looks lower to me.
Yet.
Yeah. Well, if it ain't lowered, it's gonna be slammed whenever he does lower it. So, as you can see, Hunter's coming over today to help me go ahead and bust this out on the Calypso. So we're where we left off in the last video, which is we need to do the coilovers, the reinforcements, and just button everything up. So we got the car up at about the height that we're gonna need it. We'll go ahead and pop these shocks out. We'll show you guys how to do it. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started on this, and we'll give you guys some tips, some tricks, some pointers, and whatever else we can do. All right, catch you in just a few. So first things first on this, what you're gonna wanna do is support your rear end. Now, this is whether you're on jack stands, on a lift, it doesn't matter. So we just lowered the car low enough to where it would just barely touch the jack. And the reason why we're doing that is once we pull our shocks off here, the rear end could just fall.
Do we need to loosen the shocks up first?
Bump the car down just a little bit. All right. So this is a good example of you may need to adjust your suspension. So he's gonna bump it down, bump it. All right, right there. And I could see that shock free up. So look at that. You're gonna get the other one out, Hunter? Let's see if it comes out as easy. Look at that, perfect. In case you guys don't know, we got this kit from LMR, and this is it's a mixture. It's a UPR kit, but it's got Viking springs, and I guess UPR basically just makes this. There's a little bit more to this than what you might think, so that's why we're gonna go through this installation. But anyway, as of right now, we're gonna go ahead. I will have a link to these down below if you guys wanna check them out. You can go to LMR and check them out, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and drop these shocks out. Maybe spinning on the shaft. Yep, spinning on the shaft. Hold on. That's something that we talk about a lot with these. What's happening is the shaft is spinning, so you may be able to get down here and hold the shaft while you do this. If not, all you got to do is use an impact. If you don't have an impact, there's actually a spot on the top where you can put a wrench and tighten this down, or loosen it up, I'm sorry. Okay, so we switched to the impact, and in theory, this should just pop it right off. So there you go. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead, take the other one off, and we'll get back to you guys once we start installing everything. So everybody always has questions. They wanna know, like, I bet your neighbors hate you, or whatever the case may be. We actually get along really good. When I got rid of Yellow Wolf, we didn't have any more problems. But no, we don't have any issues around here, guys. I'm telling you. You just got to be respectful. You can have loud vehicles, and you can work on them, but you still got to be respectful. That's the key to it all. All right, let's go ahead and get this done. So one of the things that you're going to have to do when you install these is going to be change these brackets out. Remove your lower control arm. You should be able to get up here behind it like this, and just make it a little easier on yourself. So just like that. On this, you just have one bolt holding it, and you had a tab up top. Well, this new setup now works like this. So where the tab went through, now you're gonna have a bolt go through. So I know it's dark down here. I'll go ahead and try to brighten everything up for you, but this should just go like this. We're gonna need to run a drill bit through that and just kind of clean that hole up so that this bolt will go through. But other than that, no problem. Just want to drop your bolts in like that. Come in from the back side with some washers. So this is what it's going to look like on the back side now. We just need to tighten everything up. That's your bracket situation. Let's take you over here and show you what we've got. So we've got one that's been completed already. I'll go ahead and show that to you, and then I'll show you how to do it. Here's our completed shock. So that's just how it all fits right there, just like that. You have to cut this piece off the top up here. But I'll cover that with you guys here in just a few minutes. For right now though, let's go ahead and pop this one on, and then we'll come back, we'll go through this, be right back with you. Well, we forgot to shoot the install of the actual coilover, but trust me guys, it's just like, at this point, it's just bolting a shock up. So no big issue there. You saw, let's put these on, and you just throw this thing up in there. So no issue. We've got our lower control arm. back on. So everything on this side's tight and good to go. But first I've got to show you guys what to do on your shock. It's pretty easy. You can do this any way you want to. I'm just going to stick this in the end of a vise in the shock just to hold it still. Now you can use a hacksaw or whatever. This is what it's going to look like, the end result. It's going to look pretty bad. Let me get my safety glasses. As you can see, there's some spot welds on this. There's 2 spot welds. So we got to cut those off, and then we just got to slice this thing and basically rip it off. We're going to leave this little lip across the top here. That's got to stay. Now you want to be careful and not grind too far and obviously grind into the shaft. You know, if you nicked it a little bit, you'd probably be fine, but better safe than sorry. From here, you should just be able to hit this and break it off. Got a problem? See, Andrew's over here and he's already trying to be funny. So, you know, just typical Andrew. We're used to it. Anyway.
You can hold it?
Yeah, hold it on that end and I'll fire the sparks back that way. Okay, so that's what you're going to be left with. You just need to get this off. All right, so that part's done. So now, real quick, let's go through the O-ring situation. I did not know what these were for. Kind of confusing to me. And then everybody was like, oh yeah, you just pop those inside of this tube. Cool. All right, and it actually is pretty easy. So first one, you're just going to drop it down in there like that. Drop it down to the bottom. And there's a groove inside of here. I'm not going to be able to show you on this bottom hole, but I'll show you up top. And just make sure that this goes inside of that groove and not come out like that. If you have the strange shocks, the single adjustable, you want to use the smallest O-ring that they have. And you probably can't see it, but right inside of there is a groove, and all you're going to do is put this O-ring in and pop it inside the groove. And it's going to have some slop in it, but that's fine. It won't once you put it on the shock. Those O-rings just take up the slack. So now you can see, ooh, wow. So now you can see just how tight this thing fits. So there's no slop or anything like that. So that's the point of those. All right, I'm gonna use this graphite lubricant, John Deere stuff. You can use whatever you want to use. This stuff works amazing though. If you can get your hands on some of it, do it. It's awesome. It dries really quick, and it's a graphite. So any of you guys that have ever used it or worked with graphite, you know just how good that stuff is. All right, that's it essentially. And you just drop this on, pretty much done. That's how it's gonna sit. We'll go ahead, get the other side done, and then we'll show you the finished product and we'll talk about it. And as always, it seems like every time we do a video, the food's here. So food's here. We're about to eat. Andrew's not though, because he didn't order anything, and you know he's mad. But I got some little Debbie cakes in there, so he'll be all right.
I'm taking his chicken.
No, he ain't. He's gonna get his ass beat. All right, guys, we'll talk to you in a few.
Your silence is my drain.
Hello, why are you pointing the camera at me so close? This episode of Fruit 12, we have death in the family.
This will be the easiest way. I was going to show you the installation on that one, but Andrew brought up a good point, which he rarely does. But basically the coilovers are in the way from where we need to drill the holes for the upper mounts for the reinforcements. So we're going to drop these things down real quick and go ahead and pop these holes in. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So that's pretty much going to be impossible to get to right there, and there's really no room on the back side. So we're going to go ahead, take these back out, drill those. And once everything's buttoned up, I'll just bring you guys back out here, show you what it looks like. We'll set the car on the ground, see how she looks. All right, so we're gonna do a quick video. You guys have been asking about the upper and lower reinforcements on how they all go, because we've not bolted anything down yet. Well, tonight, we're jumping ahead of ourselves, or say that, as far as video wise goes, because we've got to get these things bolted in before we put these coilovers, or like I showed you, we're not gonna have the room. So I'm just going to show you what we did. I will tell you this, it's kind of aggravating because the drill bit you have to drill through the whole frame. So it's double walled, obviously. So you come through and then you have to, like, absolutely have to keep that drill bit straight. That's really the only thing I want to cover with you guys. Other than that, it's just drilling holes. But pay attention to the angle of your drill bit whenever you get that first hole done. Because if you're not careful and you lean the bit one way or the other, then it's going to drill through the plate, if you can even get it through there. So that's really all I've got to cover tonight with this. But as you can see, there is a little bit of slop in there, which is what you want. Once we verify that they work and there's no issues, we may come back and put us a couple tacks or something like that on it. But for right now, this is going to work just fine. We probably won't get to the lower plates, so I'll probably have to separate all this type of content for you guys. But the bottom plates that are for the reinforcements, I mean, guys, there again, it's pretty simple. Take the back seat out and you drill some holes up through there. But anyway, let us go ahead and finish this up and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. All right, here's your update. We had to overnight some parts from Japan.
We had to overnight some parts from about 400 yards away.
Yeah, so right down the road, literally like a quarter of a mile, Andrew came to save the day. So let's talk about why we're doing this. This is a new addition. This is something that we didn't talk about earlier. So real quick, like the issue that we were having is with the brackets that were supplied. Basically, we couldn't lower the car the way we wanted to because we were running out of suspension travel, right? So imagine the shock mounting up here originally versus now down here. What it does is just give you more travel on your suspension. So we needed that because, you know, I like my cars low and it still needs to have a little bit of travel. This is not a necessity for everybody. Like if you're not going to be drag racing, you probably don't have to have these. But when you're drag racing, car's going to squat a little bit. Ultimately, it doesn't need to squat, but I don't know if we're going to be able to set it up to not be able to do that. And yes, we're watching Peppa Pig because that's what we do. We got Benny over, so this is Benny's favorite show, Peppa Pig. I don't know, guys. Don't ask any questions. On the table, Andrew, do you not know what a table is?
What are you getting around here?
That's chocolate milk, Andrew.
Hey, that's what I want to buy.
So anyway, we're installing these just so we can have more suspension travel. That's all there's to it. I will let you guys know ahead of time. If you can help it, don't just buy these to buy them because they are stupid expensive.
For what they are.
Yeah, they're really, really, really expensive for what they are. And so, yes, I had to pay Andrew back for these. So, yeah. But we need them. And like I said, it's mainly just because we want to go kind of low on the car and still have some suspension travel. Anyway, guys, we do have pretty much everything bolted down. Everything looks good here. Okay, so this is the UPR brand.
I bought them for my coilovers and I ain't put my coilovers on yet.
All right, let me give you guys a quick update. Not much to really share. I just wanted to tell you that we got everything on and we've gotten everything tight and we've been working on the suspension on the car. So these cars, the rear ends on these cars, Andrew, to which side do they typically sit more to?
Typically they sit more to the passenger side.
More to the passenger side. That's usually the way it goes. You guys know this. You can adjust that with your, yeah, you can adjust it with your upper control arm. Real quick, like, that's not what this video is about, but I want to show you, see the angle of these control arms? If you do adjust your upper and let's say you tighten it up, make it shorter, then it's going to pull this wheel in just a little bit. So we did have to tweak some. Yeah, it's really hard because it's a push-pull thing. So you change one thing over here and it does it on the other side. But my point in telling you this is you might have to make some changes. We're going to have to do some testing and stuff like that. I'm no expert on suspension by any means.
Maybe is, but we not.
But Nate really knows this stuff pretty good, so we'll have him go through everything. Anyway, what we're going to do right now is go ahead and throw the gas tank in it. I'm not going to video that, guys. We'll go ahead and get that in, and I've got the lower plates to do. I may go ahead and drill those out tonight real quick like. Outside of that, though, that's going to be it for this video. Here's what it looks like before we put the gas tank back in it. Guys, this thing's coming together. It's actually looking like a proper race car now. So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead, throw this gas tank in. I'll catch you guys in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching. So real quick, like before we wrap the video up, I thought I'd come out here and show you what I've been up to. So as you can see, the red car's out and we got the green car obviously still on the lift. But we did get the gas tank put back in. I took some time and really cleaned this thing up, guys. If you're ever under your car like this and you've got a little bit of extra time, take the time to paint it and clean it all up, because I promise you, it'll make you feel a lot better if nothing else. So anyway, we got the gas tank back in, and also we got the aluminum drive shaft out of the red car now in this car. This one needed it more than the red car did. So guys, it's coming along pretty nice. Got our nice drive shaft in here. We're getting really close to testing this thing. So the only thing left to do is we've got to bolt the exhaust back up. I'm waiting on some turn downs. So I ordered some turn downs. They were supposed to be here today, some 3-inch. And as soon as they come in, we're gonna cut all that crap off the back of those mufflers, put some nice turn downs on these things, and then do the brakes. So we gotta do the rotors and the new brake pads. But short of that, guys, we're pretty much done underneath the car. We're gonna put a new shifter in it and some stuff like that. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead, wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.